Look, the signs have always been there for Marcus Arroyo and New York. The word apple starts with an A and then has two repeating letters afterwards, and
Mhm.
so does Arroyo.
Okay.
That's it.
Happy Friday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by Senor Erik Ruby. We have the freckled mamba behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Again, hit that subscribe button. We are less than 250 subscribers away from hitting 50,000 here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. So again, we would really appreciate it if you're not already subscribed to smash that subscribe button. Rubus, it may be early February, but boy, do we have a ton to get into today. We've got some sound from some returners, including CJ Fight, Jason Brown Jr., Derek Eusebio, Zyrus Fiaseu. The Sun Devils added a new commit to that class of 2027. We're going to tell you who it is and talk a little bit more about what the addition means. But like you said in the cold open, we got something else to talk about.
Well, first, we have something else to talk about.
Okay.
I just want to give you your flowers, man. The show yesterday with Brian Carrington was fantastic. If you did miss that and you're just tuning into this because you're like, oh, I didn't hear Erik's voice for the entire thing last time, don't worry about it. Just move on from that. It's still a great episode. No, it was a really fantastic interview and just so many great stories about his time before ASU. And yeah, I think at the end of the day, I asked you what your biggest takeaway was and that he's not going to be at Arizona State for much longer. That's a guy that you'll always root for, though.
Yeah.
That has meant a lot to this team. And I think you can see why Kenny Dillingham gravitated towards a guy like that. And so, yeah, it was a great interview, man. I want to give you your credit with that, and now that that's over, I'm gonna not give you credit for the rest of the episode. So
Thank you,
we
man.
can just move on from.
Yeah, I don't think I deserve any credit. I mean, BC sat in that chair and he just
It must be the chair.
Ripped, man. Yeah, maybe that's
must be the chair.
Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, again, if you have it, highly recommend you go check it out. I do want to talk about the report that came out yesterday afternoon from Mike Garafolo, who covers the NFL, a well-trusted reporter, well-sourced reporter who reported that Arizona State offensive coordinator Marcus Arroyo interviewed with the New York Giants for their vacant quarterback coach position. Didn't specify on if the interview took place yesterday or exactly when the interview did, in fact, take place, just that it did, in fact, happen. What was your first reaction when you saw that slide across your timeline?
Threw my phone at the wall. No, you and I did a audio-only podcast about who would be the Arizona State assistant coach or just non-head coach that would leave first. And if I remember correctly, which I might not, I'm pretty sure I said Marcus Arroyo leaving. Now, I didn't say he was going to go take the quarterback's coaching job for the Giants, but
a week after our audio-only episode.
Yeah, I mean, it was, hey, good timing for us.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense, honestly.
Really?
I mean, I think it makes sense. To me,
for who?
The more that I think about the Sun Bowl and the more involvement that Kenny Dillingham had in the offense and the improved yardage output that offense had as well, if Marcus Arroyo is not going to have, and this is just speculation here, I'm not a reporter, if Marcus Arroyo is not going to have the amount of say in play calling as maybe he would like.
Which hasn't necessarily been like fully stated that
No,
like,
it
it's going
hasn't.
to be
That's why I said
different.
this is speculation.
Yeah.
Right? But if it would make sense that maybe he would try to find a different place, and it is a demotion in case of position, but you are going from college to the NFL, and if Marcus Arroyo does want to work in the NFL in the future,
Which he has in the past,
as an offensive coordinator or as a head coach, eventually, if he feels like that's the level that he succeeds the most at, considering he's been a head coach at the collegiate level, and that didn't really work out the way that he wanted it to. Kind of makes sense. Now he hasn't taken it yet, but in
hasn't necessarily been offered it yet either.
Correct. Yeah, I think as an interview, it would also make sense. I think for the Giants too. You look at the quarterbacks that Marcus Arroyo has worked with. They have a young guy in Jackson Dart. I'm sure he got a glowing letter of recommendation from Cam Scadaboo, handwritten, about how great Marcus Arroyo
is. Speculation.
Yeah, again, speculation.
I feel like a lawyer. I should just be speculation.
Let me just say this.
Everything overruled.
Anything that I say is speculation. Can we can we clip that?
Yeah, anything Erik Ruby.
Except for when I'm reporting about where local high school basketball recruits are going to be committing. That's a fact.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
It's still going to happen.
0 of 1 on Coa.
It's going to happen
on that one.
It's going to just wait. You just wait.
I'm waiting. My life is just me waiting for this
Big
to
12
happen.
Tournament.
Okay. Oh wow, he's going to break the news at the tournament. Wow,
I'm switching sides.
Huge. Yeah. Build Arizona up just so you could tear him down at the end. I like it. I like where your head's at.
Secret agent.
Look, I think when it comes to Marcus Arroyo in this position with the Giants, there's a couple different ways that you can look at this. I think you're right in the sense that if Marcus Arroyo were offered this job and he ultimately still wants to go to the NFL, which he hasn't necessarily totally vocalized, right? He hasn't gone out there and said, I want to go back to the NFL. His first
speculation.
Again, didn't necessarily go the way that probably he thought it would go or the way that he wanted it to go. So it would be an upgrade. If you're a coach at the collegiate level and you have aspirations to get the league, doesn't really matter how you get to the league, especially considering a quarterback coach feels like a step away from NFL offensive coordinator, right? You can see why that would be an attractive position given the fact that, like you mentioned, the New York Giants do have an up-and-coming quarterback in Jackson Dart.
And up-and-coming offense, too.
Yeah, in theory. Well, I did see the other day that Greg Roman might be on that staff. And that, spoken as a man who has watched every single Greg Roman coached game over the last 2 years as an OC, not good. Not pretty. Not at all.
Maybe that's why they need Marcus Arroyo.
Potentially.
But, I mean, you look from a player's side of things.
Yeah.
Obviously, not just Jackson Dart, but Malik Neighbors, possibly drafting another offensive weapon here.
Scat.
High in the draft, you have Cam Scadaboo there. I mean, like, the Giants are, if you're an offensive mind, maybe not named Greg Roman, a great place for you to kind of invest in now, right? Where you say, oh, okay, there's something
New regime in New York.
There's new regime there. There's a trio of young players already established. You'll probably add at least one more unique offensive weapon in the draft this year. Hang your hat on that, see some success, and a lot of guys might see promotions from that room. And so, again, I think it makes sense. I wouldn't have put my money on it.
Yeah.
Like 3 weeks ago, I wouldn't have been like, hey, I think Marcus Arroyo will leave for a quarterback's job in the NFL level.
Well, this is now the second job that he's been tied to.
The Utah offense.
The Utah OC job, which ultimately, again, we don't know if he was offered the job and he didn't take it or if he wasn't offered it at all, right? So there was that job, and now there's this one. What I will say about this one is the timing of it is not great for Arizona State.
Yeah.
Right? Because you are probably about a month and a half away now from the beginning of spring ball. So that ultimately puts you in a little bit of a pickle of now you have, a limited amount of time to go scour for other candidates if that is ultimately the route that you so choose to do it externally, as opposed to promoting from within. So the question then, I guess, before we get to candidates, blah, 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 is like, do we think ultimately at the end of the day that he gets his job and goes?
Well, that's kind of where we're thinking now. I'm trying to see if there's any other reports of
candidates that have been
candidates who have been interviewed, but I haven't seen any. Haven't seen anything else except for this. Now, again, you also have to understand that this is a game that agents might play, and Arizona
For
State's
sure.
got a lot more money in the assistant coaching realm, and
Yeah.
maybe Marcus Arroyo wants a bigger slice of that pie, and maybe, he feels like he's deserved it, and that's not for me to say he has or he hasn't, because I don't know what he's making, and I don't know what he's asking for, and I don't even know if that's real.
Yeah, you don't even know if he's asking for
This is
anything.
hashtag speculation.
There you go.
Okay? But yeah, I haven't seen anything else. Do I think he gets it? I think he could. It's not exactly the greatest year for him to be doing this, right? If he did it off of 2024, it's like, oh, okay, look at this great year. I mean, obviously Sam was still the, one of, if not the top quarterbacks in the portal, and was paid and treated that way. But you look at his production, it wasn't great. Jeff Sims, I don't think an NFL team is going to look at what happened with Jeff Sims this year, even though we were impressed in multiple moments, and say that's enough for us to give you the reins for the quarterback's job. But if you look at his track record, right,
Good.
when it comes
Good
to
track
quarterbacks,
record.
it's really good.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if he got it. I mean, he's not super young. He's not old, but I mean, he's 46, right? So he's not
Pretty young, I would say, in the grand scheme of like a coach.
I think in the grand scheme of like a coach, but I feel like for like a quarterback's coach, he's had a lot of experience doing other things as well. And so, yeah, I feel like they could absolutely offer him this job. And while I am interested to see what happens with ASU after that, I don't know how much it affects, like the recruiting and how guys feel who transferred in and whatnot, because who knows if they hire internally afterwards, and if it's another person that somebody has a good relationship with. But I think no matter what, losing somebody right now, it's not ideal, but would you rather lose somebody now or lose somebody right before portal season?
I think you'd rather lose him now.
Right.
Because I think you were able to sell it and you got what you got. And I don't think the offense changes dramatically. It doesn't change, I don't think, schematically if you bring in a new OC.
Yeah.
Right. I think, again, you kind of have the ingredients here of kind of how you want to bake this cake. And it's kind of the same cake that Kenny has baked over the years offensively. Now, depending on who's legitimately calling plays, that certainly does factor into it. What I will say is I don't think the New York Giants would just interview Marcus Arroyo to interview Marcus Arroyo. Like, I think if he is the best candidate that they find, I think that is ultimately going to be higher. We've seen Marcus Arroyo and given him his flowers over the years of what he's been able to accomplish as a coach at really all levels. I think he's a solid coach. I think it would be a good hire for the New York Giants. And it does put Arizona State in a kind of unique position at this point in time, because it is, again, February 6th. Where do you go from here?
Yeah.
And our diehards in diehard Discord all morning have kind of been discussing about the internal. Do you go internally?
Yeah.
Do you make the hire of a Sean Aguano or a Jason Mons and promote them? I shouldn't say hire, promote them into those positions simply off the basis of, we want to keep you, right? So first off, I would say that's not going to be the case. I do not see a world where Kenny Dillingham, again, this is all if Marcus Arroyo does in fact take the New York Giants job, if it's offered to him, I do not think that Kenny Dillingham is the type of coach, based off of what we've seen over the years, to say, I'm going to promote Sean Aguano or Jason Mons simply because we want to keep them longer. Now, will they get an interview for the position? Will they be considered for the position? I would be very surprised if they didn't. But if we know anything about Kenny Dillingham, it's that he's going to put the best players on the field that gives ASU a chance to win. Mm-hmm. He's going to hire the best coach to be the offensive coordinator for this team, especially as an offensive-minded
And it might be
head
one of
coach.
those guys.
It absolutely could be. And what I will say, again, for the folks that we're arguing in the diehard Discord, or debating, I should say, Sean Aguano, Jason Mons, if you are going internally just based off of, we need to keep you as long as possible, it's Hines Ward. That's the one you go to. If it's solely based off that, which I would be absolutely shocked if it was. And again, based off of Kenny's track record when it comes to a coach leaving and trying to find a replacement, Bo Baldwin, Marcus Arroyo.
Yeah.
Upgrade. Rashad Samples, Hines Ward. It's tough to say upgrade.
I mean,
because of
Rashad
how
was
good.
really good.
It's tough to say upgrade based off of what Rashad Samples
but you're not
is capable of.
And I say
you
this
didn't
with
go
all
down.
respect. I say this with all respect. You're not missing him.
No, you love having
And
Hines Ward here.
that's
absolutely.
Again, that is absolutely no disrespect to Samp at all.
So
you're not missing him.
2 for 2, I would say. And then, I mean, you could even make the argument, right, of a Charlie Regal
to Nudo.
And again, we'll see what Nudo does as a full-time coordinator.
Jury's still out on that.
Right, but like ultimately his track record in terms of replacing guys that have gone on for better positions in theory, right, has been good. So you shouldn't necessarily have any concern that if Marcus Arroyo, again, if with a capital IF, if he were to go to the Big Apple and be the next quarterback coach for the New York Giants, there shouldn't be any question or doubt that Kenny Dillingham would be able to find a certainly competent replacement, if not somebody better than what you currently have at the position.
Do you think no matter who that is, Kenny would call plays?
I don't know that Kenny would call plays even if, like, Marcus stayed. Like, I don't know. When Kenny says, I'm going to be more involved in the offense, there hasn't necessarily been a true definition as to what that means. And I think the next time we talk to Kenny, I think that's certainly a question that ultimately needs to be asked.
Yeah.
What I will say is Kenny was more involved in the Sun Bowl.
Yep.
The team put up more points than it did all year, more yards than it did all year, and the offense looked far more competent as a unit in that game with a lot of backups and young guys.
Pretty much all backups.
Than it did a good chunk of the season.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's just call it how it is all season.
Yes.
I mean, they put up more points that game than they had all season. Like that was the best offensive showing of the year.
I am of the belief that Kenny Dillingham should call plays regardless.
Yeah.
I think you started to see this now, and I don't want to venture too far off into the NFL land here because things are different, right, at the league level.
Yeah.
But you're starting to see that trend where head coaches that get promoted from DC jobs or OC jobs ultimately call those plays on that side of the ball.
Mike LaFleur is going to be doing it here.
Mike LaFleur is going to be doing it here. Jesse Minter from the Chargers DC to now the head coach of the Ravens is going to be calling plays defensively for the Ravens. Ben Johnson, right, as an OC of the Lions, calls the plays for the Chicago Bears. Regardless, he still has an OC, right? Helps game plan, helps schematics.
But just when the game is going on, the calls are coming from him.
Because at the end of the day, why was Kenny Dillingham hired to be the next coach at Arizona State?
Where it's, if you want to go out and get somebody, right, is it going to be as attractive? And again, speculation out. Is it going to be as attractive of a job if it's, hey, you're going to come here, you're not going to call plays?
Yes,
right.
Absolutely,
it's still be attractive, but it won't be. I don't think it'll be as attractive for somebody who's like, okay, I want to continue to go up to where you look at internally, and I think you have a lot of really good candidates here, and you have a lot of money. And these guys are also, because you think of recruiting, and Z-Man in the chat says recruits seem to really like Arroyo, though. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you're looking at Aguano, Hines, and Mons. All three have been phenomenal recruiters.
Also, Coach Saga, I think, deserves some love. Like, offensive line coaches can certainly be play callers as well. Yeah. They could certainly be offensive coordinators, absolutely. And he's done a phenomenal job.
Absolutely. I mean, you have great options, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think, Will in the chat talks about Aguano, and look, I'm a big Aguano fan. I advocated for Aguano to get the job when he was the interim, and obviously it was the right choice going with Kenny. I'm not going to say that, but I do think that he deserved to look at it. For sure. And with the amount of consistent success and the fact that he's been a coordinator at the collegiate level, I believe, for the longest out of anybody else on this roster right now. I guess I don't know how long Saga has been a coordinator, but I mean, Aguano has been doing this for a long time here and just in general, and has all those local ties. Mons is certainly somebody that I think could look at a position like that and be like, okay, I want to feel like I'm moving up. And then, like you said before, if you're just bringing somebody on to keep them around, which I know they wouldn't, it's Hines Ward, who has been great. I think the wide receiver production on the field hasn't always been what we wanted it to be, but as far as recruiting goes, name brand recognition goes, like Hines Ward is
as big as it gets at ASU.
Hines Ward's about as big of a name as Kenny Dillingham.
Can I throw a name in there that nobody probably has talked about? No. I mean, potentially as like as quarterback coach, right? Because that's part of this too, is like, what is their title? Do they come in as an OC? Do they come in as, because he's also the quarterback's coach, right? At Arizona State. Brady White is a
Yeah.
fascinating name to consider. Somebody that currently works under Hines Ward with the Arizona State wide receivers, was at Memphis, went to Memphis with Mike Norvell and Kenny Dillingham. He was the quarterback there. I think there is certainly a world where you give Brady White a promotion to be offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach without necessarily having him call the plays.
Sure.
With Kenny calling the plays and he gets that bump, he gets that promotion, everybody else kind of stays put. I think that is certainly a possibility.
Do you feel
at
like
this point in time?
I don't know if smarter is the right word to say.
I trust Kenny.
No. Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, that goes without saying. That's not speculation. That's truth. Do you think it would be more logical to put Hines in that spot and then put Brady in Hines's current role?
I mean, not if Hines doesn't want to do that.
Do we think Hines doesn't want to do that?
I have no idea.
That's the kind of thing and again, okay, so back to speculation.
Because he turned down NFL jobs 2 years ago.
Sure. Back to speculation hour.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're Hines Ward, you don't want to, and I don't want to say just be the wide receivers coach, but like you're a Hall of Fame player, right?
Correct.
I'm sure that you have some desire internally to feel like you are moving up, right?
Do you want Espo's job?
No,
I don't either. Right?
but
so
I think it's different. I think it's different in football. I think it's
why?
different.
It's a promotion.
I mean, I get, and again, and I said it's hashtag speculation hour, right? But to me, it feels like, okay, not everybody on the staff is just going to be happy being the same coach forever. Not necessarily they're going to be like upset, but like that's human nature.
Yeah.
Right? You feel like you've done a good job. You want to get a D-backs.
Yeah, I saw that.
Awesome. You want to continue to feel like you're moving up. Right? Or at least to be recognized for your work. And so it's like if Brady White gets that, does Mons or Iguano, and maybe they don't. Maybe they don't care. Right? Maybe they're completely content and happy because they're here.
Yeah,
they're
again,
local.
this is
like
speculation
again,
hour.
hashtag
He interviewed for the job. He interviewed for the job.
Hashtag
He
speculation
interviewed for
hour.
the job, and we spent the last 21 minutes. How do we replace this guy
Well,
if he
but
leaves?
Also, when we talked about it on hashtag speculation hour audio only edition,
Yeah.
where we talked about potential coaches that could be leaving.
Yeah.
It was almost like, yeah, if there's a guy that's probably going to leave, I think Marcus Arroyo is there. If I had put my money on it, out of everybody on the coaching staff who would not be on this coaching staff soon enough, again, not for negative reasons, it would be Marcus Arroyo.
Yeah.
Right? He's been linked to 2 jobs in the last month. You know the saying? I just made this up. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Correct.
Right? To me, if it's not this year, okay, I'd be shocked then if going into next year, Marcus Arroyo is still the
For sure.
the offensive coordinator, because I don't think that you do this if you don't want to go move up, even if you are still happy here and you want to do it. So I don't think it's an unrealistic conversation to have, even if it's not this job. What if it's a job for Marcus Arroyo? What if it's next year? Who do you
still have all of these internal candidates on top of potentially going external. Like I think regardless.
I think the problem with external right now is that you had the crazy coaching cycle 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And everything's kind of settled down. I don't know exactly what top tier
I'll do
candidate's
it.
going to be out there.
I'll do it.
What top tier candidate's going to be out there. And so
nothing goes with top tier quite like Totri, man.
top tier Totri. Ooh, that does kind of rip. I'm not going to lie.
Triple T.
Top tier Totri. Well,
Bang.
More on that from top tier Totri on the other side of this break. Brings hundreds of years of combined trial experience with multiple certified specialists in personal injury and wrongful death. Not only are they dedicated to the Valley, they're dedicated to having the best representation for you before, after, if you never go to court. Look, you get access to an attorney at all times. Never play phone tag trying to speak with your attorney. You can call your paralegal, schedule time with your lawyer, and know that you'll have the support that you need. Plus, the attorney will always find and make time to meet directly with their client, and they actually go to trial if it's needed. They are prepared and ready to go. And of course, nobody can guarantee the outcome of a legal case, but they're always happy to make you other guarantees. Like you can cancel your fee agreement at any time for any reason, and you'll receive at least as much in your pocket as they receive for their fees. So if you've had a serious injury, the choice is simple. Call the husband and wife law team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at the link in our show notes and tell them that PHNX sent you.
Look, I started my morning at about 7 o'clock, and the very first thing I did was I went to Circle K, filled up on gas, saved money, got myself an energy drink, and since then, it's been a phenomenal day because all great days start at Circle K. And look, they're trying to help you save money every single day, the same way that they're helping me save money. So the big question is how? Well, the answer, it is their free membership program called Inner Circle. It takes about 20 seconds to get enrolled. Go to the App Store, download the app, enter your email and phone number, and that's it. That's literally all it takes to sign up for Inner Circle, and you guys can let the savings come to you. The next time you show up to a Circle K location, you guys are going to save 25 cents off per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. Make sure you join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
Woo!
Woo! Oh, yeah, my voice was going to crack. I knew, I felt it. Couldn't get all the way.
You know what I feel right now?
Tell me.
A great deal.
Really? You feel that?
I feel it.
Wow.
My jellies.
Wow.
It's the big game Die Hard sale. 60% off Die Hard membership. We might not be a pro football podcast.
Wait, we're
but
not?
That doesn't mean that you can't reap the benefits of one.
That's a big sale, man.
$32 for the year, which is regularly $80. You get all the regular benefits that all of our diehards get, with a free t-shirt, 20% off of merch, discount on events, access to their Die Hard Discord, exclusive content, and so much more. More. The vaunted more. Yeah. Go phnx.com/join for that discount. Join us.
Join the army.
Join us.
Not like, you know.
I got you. Join top tier Totri.
There you go.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah. Thanks for getting me out there, man. Hit the like
Marcus Arroyo.
Hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Look, let's round this conversation out. If Arroyo leaves,
yeah,
this is what I got.
Hashtag speculation.
Hashtag speculation.
Resume.
I've solved it. Aside from Kenny calling me and me politely turning down the position.
Is there any position you would turn down? If Kenny was like, I want you to like fold my laundry, but I'll match your salary, would you do it?
I hate laundry, dude.
I
really hate laundry.
Would you rather do laundry?
Any chores? I would not do.
The dishes.
I'd rather do laundry 10 times over.
Yeah, dude, the dishes.
Dishes are my
personal
single worst.
There are people who like doing the dishes.
Yeah.
My personal hell.
They're psychopaths.
And like, we're starting to get like, this is, who cares, but I don't care. I'm going to say it. We're getting stuff that has to be like hand washed now, and we can't just like throw it in like the
dishwasher. Yeah, you mean like non-cheap stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, oh my God, I got to load the dishwasher and I got to hand wash
I'm cool
everything.
loading it. People that don't like loading it,
it's like
or like complain about loading it, I just like, you're like super lazy.
Yeah, it's like unloading.
Now, unloading it I hate doing. Unloading the dishwasher and doing the actual dishes. I will get the dishes from point A to point B. Anything outside of
dish
that,
transporter.
Absolutely. I drive the bus. I do nothing else except get the dish to the dishwasher.
Z-Man in the chat says, you guys are good. Deli Man can't yell at you. You know what? And that's why stars matter, damn it.
I'll take it. But look, back to Marcus Arroyo here. Assuming he leaves, which again, hashtag speculation now. Yeah. My money would say
audio, you got to be live in chat, man.
Brady White gets promoted, QB coach. If Hines does, in fact, get the OC job, I think it would be in title. I think Kenny would still potentially call plays. And then, because I still think he wants to work with the wide receivers.
Yeah.
You'd need somebody else to work as a assistant under Hines, similar to the way Brady White did. Welcome Jalen Strong, who is coaching at the high school level here. So thank you very much. I've solved it. Kenny, I will take just a small check. I'll DM you my address. So from there, we go to somebody that has committed to Arizona State in the class of 2027, and that is 3-star wide receiver Tycen Johnson, choosing Arizona State over Washington. UCLA had offers to go to Utah, Oregon, Purdue as well, but wanted to play in Tempe, a top 50 class of 2027 recruit in the state of California. So another solid get for Hines Ward. Now the third commit in the class of 2027 for the Sun Devils. The two prior were, of course, 4-star quarterback Weston Nielsen, and then another receiver, 4-star Nico Bland.
2 receivers. Not bad. Now, if you just take off the back end of this, it's a 3-star wide receiver from Chaparral High School. Local recruiting
There
is
you go.
back.
There you
Local
go.
recruiting is
Not even back.
baby.
It's just here.
It's here. Yeah, it's here. No, but this is good. No more hashtag speculation hour, right? And
Yeah.
I think one of the big takeaways that I had from your interview with Brian Carrington was how he basically admitted, he's like, yeah, like the ASU brand, the ASU logo, when you say you're with Arizona State University,
Means something.
carries a lot more weight now than it did a couple of years ago, right? Even though last season maybe wasn't what everybody expected, the fact that you won a Big 12 championship and the fact that you are putting Cam Scadaboo in the NFL and Sam Levitt's leaving a multimillionaire, so is Raleek, so is Jordan Tyson, and you've got Hines Ward on the set.
Leaving ASU a multimillionaire. I was out there leaving looking for a job. So unfortunate for me.
Got to be more innovative, pal.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know if those guys were innovative. I just think they're good at football.
They innovated a way to be good at football by being very athletic. And
I
smart.
blame mom and dad.
Yeah. There you go.
They didn't innovate. Damn it.
But, when you're now starting to go and you're starting to recruit top 50 recruits in a state like California, right? Or you get a 4-star, Nico Bland, Weston Nielsen, all of that. Having ASU on your quarter zip that you're wearing when you go to the school, it means a little bit more.
Does
now, and hopefully we can start seeing that continue to build up. It's going to take a little bit for it to, I think, fully bear its fruit. Like Brian Carrington might not be here when that fully gets to the point where the foundation has been set. But so far, so good for class of 2027. 2 wide receivers and a quarterback. I'm sure the quarterback's happy about that.
Yeah, I mean they commented under the tweet saying let's go or something, and Tyson responded to that saying let's get to work.
Well, and that's how you also, Jake Fetty has been committed to ASU for a long time.
Yeah.
Right. Weston Nielsen is another 4-star quarterback who is now going to have been, if he continues his commitment to ASU, which all signs point that hopefully he does. Of course, things can change, but if he does, right, he'll have committed to ASU for a very long time. And then if you get here and there's another great quarterback playing, you're probably not playing the first year that you're here at ASU. But if you look to your left and you look to your right and you say, these are guys who are on my timeline, who are big weapons, big time guys, right? 4 stars, 3 stars, guys that I see in practice that maybe weren't those 3 stars, but I see that they're dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm a little bit more content sitting around because I know that when my number gets called, I'm going to have these guys next to me.
For sure.
Right? And so I think it's not a coincidence that you're getting a quarterback and 2 wide receivers as your first 3 commits of the 2027 class.
For sure. And I mean, you talk about big commit, right? Like, how about literally big? 6'2", another lengthy player for Arizona State. I think that's something, again, I pointed out on whatever day we had gone out and done media availability, I think Wednesday, looking at this team, right? That they're longer, they're bigger. Which in theory is going to have an impact on the way that they play and how they match up against other teams. It's clear that, like, again, to quote you, size matters, right? Like, this is an Arizona State coaching staff that they've got a vision for kind of what they're building. And you look at wide receiver, Reed Harris, Omarion Miller, Raiden Vines-Bright, Jalen Moss, Jaron Hamilton, like, they are really, to steal what Carrington had said the other day, like they're stocking the pond when it comes to the wide receiver position, and they're just jumping in the bucket at this point for Hines Ward. Tycen Johnson, again, still another year of high school football, class of 2027 kid. But right now, you look at Arizona State's class of 2027. Again, I had said it a couple weeks ago. It's shaping up to be a historic one for the Sun Devils. And what I will say is Tycen Johnson was at the junior day weekend that the Sun Devils had this past weekend. And again, I would expect that played a factor in ultimately his decision to commit to Arizona State at the point in time in which he committed to Arizona State. And there will be plenty more in that class of 2027 that ultimately make the decision to sign up to play football in Tempe. Tyson is potentially the next great Tyson.
There you go.
In Tempe, and I think ASU fans should be pretty elated about it, man.
Yeah, and now you're getting guys on campus too. It's the same thing that logo carries a little bit more weight. When you're walking around campus, when you see the investment in the infrastructure that this team has, like just wait until they have the new practice facility. Right? just wait until they have the new practice facility. It's gonna mean a lot to Again, you're still trying to pitch high schoolers. And guess what? Guess who has the power now? High schoolers.
Yeah.
Did you see that picture of the Ohio State coach at a high school player's house, and the kid was wearing pajama pants, no shirt, had a brace on, and 2K on the TV?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm being dead ass.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Did you see there was another one of a high schooler, what they were asking for? Like in their contract?
Dude.
Did you see that, Ayrton?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Well, I guess
let's do some good podcasting here. Let's both look up something at the same time.
Goodness. Dude.
Okay, how about this?
Okay, you're gonna
let's hit a break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and we'll have done our research.
Okay, fine.
You're
going so fast, dude.
I'm not going as fast as they're going at
You're
Phoenix
right,
Raceway.
right.
March 5th through the 8th, NASCAR and NTT IndyCar Series are racing during the same weekend. And guess what?
History.
For the first time ever, it had to happen at Phoenix Raceway. It's the kind of energy you're really going to feel in person.
Facts.
To understand. Were you out there when we went on the pace car?
Of course.
Dude, oh my God, that was so
vibe.
fast. Now,
I wish I could chill in that entire car the entire time.
That'd be great. I mean, plus you're in a great place in Phoenix Raceway, right into the side of the Estrella Mountains. You drive up and it's boom, beautiful there. And guess what? You can get the best access in motorsports March 5th through the 8th. Go inside the garage, walk the track, meet the drivers, catch the pre-race concert. Because no sport brings fans closer if you upgrade to the Desert Diamond Casino in-field experience. So once again, NASCAR, NTT IndyCar Series at Phoenix Raceway, March 5th through the 8th, the first time ever on the same weekend. Secure your seats now at the link in our description.
Do you guys like good vibes and candy?
No.
Well, if you are...
I hate those things.
If you are the opposite of Erik Ruby, which in reality should be all of you of age, of course, then go check out our friends over at Pure Edibles. They're an edible company, guys, but it doesn't sometimes taste like it. Their product is so good that it tastes like they are a full-fledged candy company. They are offering gummies. They've got Kicks, their version of Starburst Chews, soft candies like caramel, and then hard candies as well. And if you're somebody that maybe doesn't want to indulge in the uplifting effects of Pure Edibles, but maybe you have trouble sleeping, well, check out their sleep support gummies, because I'll tell you what, those ones taste just as good. Not to mention, if you are an Arizona State fan, well, how about this? The three founders are, of course, all Sun Devil alumni. Make sure you go find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of the over 130 dispensaries across Arizona. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Again, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Less than 250 subscribers away from 50,000 here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. So smash that subscribe button. Okay, I found it. And for all of you that aren't just like...
we're 131 subscribers away.
Boom. There you go.
Wow.
We are less than 200. Less than $150. For all of you that your profession isn't tied to like just like all things college football, this is where we're at in NIL. This is from On3. Had a story where they had talked to somebody in the Big Ten, a general manager in the Big Ten. And this is the story. Quote, "We had a kid ask for a signing bonus, a flight stipend, jersey number choice guaranteed, insurance policy, loss of home and disability, vehicle stipend, stipend for a rental house, award campaign push, preferred walk-on spot, tickets to home and away games, and field passes for agents."
That's it? That was my demand when I started doing this show.
I can't wait till the end of the year. I'm going to step in Espo's office. Like, I know exactly what I want.
Just copy paste that tweet. So I couldn't find the tweet that I was talking about, but basically it was an Ohio State coach recruiting a high school kid who, I mean, had a messed up like arm and shoulder. He was shirtless with pajama pants on, 2K on in the background, and just holding up like a peace sign with the picture. And the quote tweet was like, "These coaches have no control now." Like this is an example of where
was it Ryan Day?
The power. It was not Ryan Day.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it would have been different if it was Ryan Day. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, it's an Ohio State coach.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I don't know. Maybe I'm unk now, but like, put on a shirt. Shirtless pajama pants is like that is
shirtless pajama pants or shirtless
with pajama pants.
Got you.
I don't know what shirtless pajama pants would be if I'm being honest with you.
Like overalls, maybe like. Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I guess. Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Yes, Ben Cheesy. I think we all wish that we could step into our office or our boss's office and request those things. We can't, though. And probably you can't either. You can try, see what happens. But regardless, kids that commit to Arizona State at this point in time want to be Sun Devils, and I think that's perfectly clear, regardless of how much money they do get or the things that they do, in fact, get. And I think another thing is pretty clear. The Sun Devils that are on the roster and opted to stay Sun Devils, they want to be in Tempe. They want to be known as Arizona State Sun Devils, none more than I think Jason Brown Jr., who, Erik, we spent a good chunk of that post-game show at the Sun Bowl talking about what Jason Brown Jr. accomplished, regardless of the fumble. But, like, just his overall performance, how hard this dude works, practice after practice after practice, and to see, it really show up. I think there was certainly an argument to be made of, like, Jason Brown Jr. is probably gone. He's probably going to hit the transfer portal. Why? He put a lot on tape. Somebody that doesn't have a ton of eligibility left in the grand scheme of college football. And we know that this running back room has got a ton of guys, and that's something that's it's not going to change. There are always going to be a lot of running backs in this room, highly recruited guys. And so when we talked to a lot of these returners and newcomers the other day, I made it a point to ask Jason Brown Jr., like, why? Why stay at Arizona State? And Erik, he gave me an answer that absolutely fired me up.
There's high opportunities here. I mean, at the end of the day, the track record speaks for itself. And honestly, I feel like I'm good enough to play here. I've always felt like I was good enough to play here. And this is where I want to play. So at the end of the day, I want to win a national championship with ASU. I want to be known as a Sun Devil that came out through and through and did everything that he could for this team and for this program. And kind of like a guy that's a culture leader, you know what I mean?
That's not something you hear in college football often.
I was very direct.
Yeah.
It was very, very, very direct.
And I asked him, I was like, there are high-level opportunities elsewhere. And he's like, there's a high-level opportunity here. And I feel like I'm good enough to play here. And this is where pretty much. And this is where I want to play.
Shut your mouth.
And I was like, I mean, you got to respect that.
Yeah.
You got to respect the fact that, like, hey, this is where I want to be. Mm-hmm. One, I know that. I don't care about the opportunities elsewhere. I don't care about playing anywhere else. I want to play here. Mm-hmm. I know I can play here. Look what I did in the Sun Bowl. Mm-hmm. I want to be a Sun Devil. Like,
it's pretty good.
Bet, man. Like,
I mean, well, again, that's the type of fire that you need because, again, like, they brought in some good talent, some guys that could be RB1, but I think he's certainly in the mix in the conversation for it. And so if he feels that way, he's going to go out there and he's going to fight to prove it and want to be here. I mean, again, how many times have we said it? Like, this is a roster, this is a program that's built off of guys who want to be here. That's not just bull crap that we say.
Yeah, you hear it
every single show. Like, we're not peddling propaganda, right? Which is great back-to-back words, though.
Peddling propaganda.
Yeah, it's unfortunately
a great
fire. Whoa.
Great band name.
Peddling propaganda. Who are they opening for?
Noah Khan.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Damn it, I got it too late. I missed the first half of Peddling Propaganda set.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and watch it.
Unlucky.
Anyway, it's not just like something that we just sit here and say, right?
I mean, we do, but it's true.
But it's not something we just sit here and say. Like, it's actually founded in reality, and I think that answer was a really good example of it.
Yeah, Will says Iguano stocks up on high caliber running backs like Infinity Stones. Facts, and so much so that they see what he does. They see what the running backs do. Yeah, they're like, I want to be on the Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah. Don't
please.
I do not want to go anywhere else. I want to be here. No, that's awesome, man.
The gems found Thanos.
He is. You got to root for him.
My bad.
You got to root for Jason Brown Jr., a guy like that, man. I know I am. Somebody that has that confidence in himself to just say, yeah, I know that the chips are stacked against me. I don't care. I want to be here.
Sure.
And I've proven that I can play at this level. Love to see that. And I think, again, there's a couple of different players on this roster that you could probably point to and have that same conversation. And I did just that with Derek Eusebio, right? Because Derek Eusebio is another one where, like, fan outside looking in. Reed Harris, Omarion Miller, Raiden Vines-Bright, Jaron Hamilton, Jalen Moss. Just as, like couple of them, 3 of them are transfers.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't know what I was doing with my hands there for a second. 3 of them are transfers. 2 of them are guys that were expected to play at a high level last year, didn't necessarily do that. So you would anticipate that those guys are going to be first in line. Derek Eusebio produced when his number was called.
He was wide receiver 2 this year.
Was 100% wide receiver 2. And he produced when his number was called. Another player that you could have pointed to and said, you can go get probably a bigger bag at another school, probably be guaranteed playing time in a starting spot. So I asked him, why not? Like, was that ever something in your mind? Why not do that? Like, dude loves competition.
Yeah.
I mean, competition never really scared me. I mean, I was a walk-on coming here, and Coach Dilly gave me my only shot I ever had. I had college football, and gave me the scholarship and everything. So I feel like I had a chance here. I had a footprint here, and I have a footprint in this offense to get well, know it deeply. I felt like no matter who was coming in or anything, I'd be right in control of my destiny for sure. So I wasn't fearing any competition or anything. I feel like that brings me up in anything. I was in that room with EK and all of them, JT, like that was a talented room, and it made me better. So I hope these guys come in and bring in their A game, because that's just gonna make us all better. So I hope we all beat this at the end of the day.
I mean, yeah, he's seen a lot.
Yeah.
He's seen a lot of talented wide receivers come and go. And again, you know, a lot of those guys that you listed, obviously 3 of them not there, but they were here last year along with Jordan Tycen, and Erik Eusebio was still the guy that kind of rose to the top. Why wouldn't he have the faith that he could still do that?
Yeah, I mean, you're 1,000% right. And we were sitting there. It's kind of how we started chatting about some of those wide receivers that have been in that room prior, right? The Elijah Badgers, the Jordan Tysons, the Milquan Stovall's, the Xavier Guillory's, like the list, the wide receivers that
the Troy O'Meary.
Exactly. The wide receivers that Derek Eusebio has been around in this room, and he's still here, feeling like he's grown with each passing day. Somebody that was Jordan Tyson's roommate, right? That wasn't on accident, right? Somebody that certainly took as much as he could get from somebody that's going to be a first-round pick in April. And again, another guy that we've always kind of rooted for on this podcast. I think another one that we're certainly going to be rooting for, and I would not be surprised in the slightest to see Derek Eusebio playing and contributing at a high level for this.
He could definitely be a starter
in 2026. 1,000.
He could be starting alongside Reed Harrison and Mary Miller.
Yeah,
100%.
I'd be juiced. Be absolutely juiced.
Absolutely.
I'm here for it.
And if he doesn't start at the beginning of the season, he might be starting by the end of it. Like, that's just the type of guy that Derek Eusebio is.
Yeah, 1,000%. And again, like, these are guys that want to be here, that want to finish their college careers at Arizona State. And I think, again, like, those two are great examples of, like, a rarity in college football, and this fan base has them in Tempe, and I think they're very, very lucky to do so. I think this fan base is also very, very lucky to get a couple of big dogs returning on the defensive side of the ball, including one that was injured most of the season, and linebacker Cyrus Fiaseu, who was a massive contributor in that 2024 season defensively with Jordan Crook, with Keyshawn Elliott. We know what that defense was capable of doing, and it was a bummer to see him go down last season. So I asked him if with him and CJ kind of being really the only 2 pillars of that 2024 defense still left in Tempe, if he felt that there was any added responsibility of upholding the culture at Arizona State in the locker room. And he said it wasn't a responsibility, more so this.
I was saying earlier, not so much a responsibility, more of an honor, more of a pleasure to do all this. 24 season was a great season, you know, and that season will forever be in my books, my favorite season. But we're just put in this position, like, we're older, you know, and that we're the only ones coming, some of the older ones coming back. But the new guys that are coming in, it's great to have them. No problems. Really, we're really just excited to see what this new team has for us.
I'm so pumped to see him back on the field, dude.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity for him.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they definitely could have used him last year, but I did feel like that linebacker core was still solid. There's a lot of turnover in it, but you did add in Owen Long, who is
Ramir Davis
to start on the team. Yep, Ramir. And then, I mean, you saw Martell Hughes, right? Who is somebody who was in that rotation. I don't know if Zyrus starts, but I know that he plays, right? And that's that's the important part with this. And I know this was a long time ago, and this doesn't mean everything, but like, he was the initial, exclamation point on the 2024 season, right? That first game, the pick six, where that just kind of like propelled this team into.
I think I remember sitting in the press box and crowds going nuts. It's literally first defensive drive against Wyoming. Still don't know what this is going to be, right? All the expectations, all the hype. Same thing at the start of 2023, right? All the hype, right? Regardless of, players, whatever.
New
exactly.
era,
So you're like, okay, there was all this hype last year. Is there going to be, how they're going to do it here? Drops back, throws the pick. Zyra steps in front of it. Crib calls it. Crowd goes nuts. Erik turns to me. He's like,
bro, I wasn't there.
I'm pretty sure you were there, dog.
Brother, I missed it.
I swear to God,
I was waiting for the.
Then maybe
press,
it was Shane. Maybe it was
waiting
Shane.
for the press elevator.
You're right. You were late to that, and you were like, it was already 7-0.
Maybe it was Jordan Ham that turned to you, because Shane was gone.
Where was Shane?
He
wasn't on the bus.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
That was the season that Kyle. Oh well, he was back, but Kyle produced.
Somebody was with me.
I think Jordan Ham was there.
Maybe it was Hammy. Somebody turned to me and said, "Holy shit, maybe they're gonna be good."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah."
Well, dude, I remember, and maybe I said that to you when I got up there, because I got up there like pretty shortly after. But I was on the field to get the Tillman Tunnel run out and everything, and then by the time you walk all the way around, get up, and then you wait 45 freaking minutes for the only elevator. The only elevator that takes you up there.
Don't even get me started on that dinosaur of an elevator.
We got to talk to Graham about that.
We do.
But I'm waiting there, and I'm literally waiting in line, and it's just a pop, right? Just a pop, and I'm like, what did I miss?
Cue Jonathan and fireworks.
If you're in that stadium, like the service doesn't really work on your phone, and so I'm like trying to
the elevator barely works.
What happened? The elevator barely works. So I get up there in the elevator, and I sit down, and I go, what happened? And you go, pick six. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, wait, what?
God, if I could relive that 2024 season.
What a season, man.
What a year. What a season. This one is going to be super, super exciting. And I think more so for a lot of fans because they get one final year of Arizona State defensive tackle CJ Fight, somebody who was a part of that initial recruiting class for Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State, somebody that had an opportunity to declare for the 2026 NFL draft, opted to stay at Arizona State. He was asked the other day during that media availability, if seeing Ahanichor, if seeing Tycen, if seeing Abney gives him any hope and excitement, like for his own personal future in the NFL. And of course, knowing CJ Fight, he had to just give credit and be happy for his team.
I'm just happy for the guys. It's cool to see the guys you spend so much time with, and you see what they like, the work they put in. Like all those guys deserve it. They're all great people, great players. So it's cool to see them getting their flowers and they're getting the recognition as they deserve. I was talking with some of the people here, and it's true. You truly do feel happy when you see the guys kind of like blow up like that. Like the guys, I guess, kind of shift back taking this past Super Bowl, seeing all of them over Twitter. It's cool to see. That's one of my guys. All of them are my guys. But to see him just kind of rise up that quick, it's cool to see. So now they're talking about all three of them might go in the first round. So it's a cool thing. It shows how Arizona State's changed.
That's just the type of guy that CJ is.
Yeah. 1000%.
Right. And again, I know that he's not thinking about it this way, but let me take this cynical approach to it where it's like, hey, if Arizona State becomes a brand where everybody's like, wow, these guys are really good, I want to draft them. Well, guess what? When CJ Fight goes out to the draft next year, that's going to help.
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty nice. I mean, it's a big season for Zyrus. It's a bigger season for CJ. There's a lot of pressure on CJ Fight this year. Good pressure, right? Pressure that I'm sure he welcomes. But CJ Fight is the best player on the defense.
We're saying this now.
He's the best player on the defense.
Okay.
He's the best player on the defense. Would you disagree with me?
I'm not going to sit here and disagree. I'm just not going to pick somebody yet without having seen the newcomers.
I'm just going to say CJ Fight is expected.
He's going to be a staple of this defense.
Expected to be the best player on the defense.
Expected to be the anchor of the defense.
And is to me one of the many top tier NFL prospects, and maybe up there in the top 2 or 3 on both sides of the ball as far as NFL prospects. He is really good.
I mean, he's what.
And he's a really good guy.
When great human being. When Kenny Dillingham came to Arizona State, that's the type of guy that he wanted.
And he got him. And he's still here.
Exactly. That when Kenny Dillingham says, we only want guys that want to be Sun Devils, that's the type of guy he's talking about. Somebody who could have gotten a shit ton, for lack of better terms, of money in the portal.
Is there a better term?
There is,
I don't
but
look
it
like
starts
there
with
is.
an F, and we're not
Oh, okay.
advised to say it often.
A freaking lot of money.
Exactly.
When's the last time we said that word?
I said it with BC. I said it with
that's
Carrington the other day. But yeah, like he could have.
Right.
And he opted to just say, nah, I'm good. Like it was never about me leaving.
Yeah.
It was either I declare or I come back to Arizona State.
Right.
Portal was never an option
No.
for a CJ fight.
That's it. Feels good, man. Feels good. I'm excited
You know what's going to feel even better?
when they play football.
Yes, absolutely. That first spring practice in March is going to hit 1,000%. But you know what else is going to hit?
We're gonna keep doing shows, man.
Well, that I'm just saying, getting out of here on Friday is going to be pretty awesome.
It's not Friday, it's fall off day.
You're right. You're right. If you know, you know. Guys, that is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devil Show. We appreciate everybody that stopped by live, listened after the fact, or listens on audio. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Again, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. If you want to keep up with all the things we're doing here on the PHNX Sun Devil Show, give the show a follow on social at PHNX_Sun Devils. That's on Twitter, on Instagram, and on TikTok. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow this guy right here. That's Senor Rubis at Erik Ruby. That's Erik with a K. You can follow the Freckled Mamba at the Freckled Mamba on social. Don't worry, Green M&M. We will be back live next week on Monday, but hopefully everybody enjoys the big game. Make sure you take advantage of that Die Hard sale that we do have going on. Stay blessed. Stay safe.
Wow.
We'll see you Monday.
Never really dropped those. Go Devils in peace.
We all silly like the mayor.